the 2025 Ineos Grenadier, a vehicle you may or may not have heard of. And that is perfectly fine if you haven't, because that's what I am here for. I'm here to tell you all about this, or at least as much as I can in a short period of time. Keep in mind, this is a first drive video, not a full test. I also want to get into the background just a little bit. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the president, chairman of Ineos, which is a big petrochemical company, also the guy who owns a minority stake in Manchester United. Well, he's a big fan of the Land Rover Defender, the original Defender. So the story goes, he approached Land Rover years ago and said, "Hey guys, I know you're discontinuing production. How about I buy the tooling off of you?" Land Rover said no, and thus the Ineos Grenadier was born. That is sort of the short version of the story. It's pretty accurate and also pretty incredible that he turned this project around so quickly, because that dream really started in 2017 and now here we are in 2025. This thing has been on the market for a few years now, and I will say it's pretty good. Now, I am on road, which isn't the good stuff. That's not what this is meant to do, which brings me to my very important point. If you are buying this thing for a lush and luxurious vehicle, you are going to be very disappointed. It is priced like a luxury vehicle, but it doesn't really drive like one, and it doesn't have the qualities, the materials, the feel. It's loud in here. It doesn't handle all that well out on the open road. Those are compromises that come with just how incredibly capable it is when you are off the beaten path, which we are about to do shortly. So let's talk about it on the road. These solid axles mean it wanders like a senile old man. It's not terrible, it's not much worse than a Jeep Wrangler, but it's definitely noticeable, especially if you are coming from a premium SUV. Probably not what you are expecting. This thing also doesn't have rack and pinion steering, so you are going to notice how it works with this recirculating ball setup. It's just a little different. So at low speeds, it takes a lot of effort to move, and then at higher speeds, I guarantee you are going to put in way more input than you actually need. That's some of the sort of bad stuff. The good stuff, this powertrain. It is the tried and true straight six from BMW, a 3-liter. It makes 281 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with that magical ZF 8-speed automatic transmission and a full-time 4-wheel drive system. That is a sticking point for me. I would love to see a selectable system like you can get in most other pickup trucks and SUVs. And speaking of pickup trucks, there is a truck version of the Ineos Grenadier, which is sort of weird to me that it's the same vehicle name, but then it's also different. It's the Quartermaster, which is a military name. That's the guy in the barracks that runs all the supplies. Go figure. The one with the open bed on the back, it's the one you can get all the supplies to the barracks in. So that's why it's called the Quartermaster. All of them have these kind of interesting, cool British military inspired names. The Grenadier name itself, though, that comes from Sir Jim Ratcliffe's favorite pub in London. Yes, that is where the dream of this machine was born, and so they named it after his favorite pub. I'd say that's a pretty British thing, in my opinion. Otherwise, this thing is bad on gas. Like I said, it's loud. It's not terribly uncomfortable. These seats are actually quite nice, but they're only heated, not ventilated, no massage. And keep in mind, this thing starts at around $98,000 when you factor in the freight charge. This is an expensive machine. Now, yes, you can price a Wrangler Rubicon X or a Gladiator Rubicon X into at least somewhat close territory, but that is besides the point. The point is that this is priced like a luxury vehicle, but it is not that. What it is meant to do, well, that's what we're about to do next. All right, guys, so I have switched into the Quartermaster, and we are out here on the trail, which I am really excited about, and we should talk about some of the stuff. Now, there is, like I said, high and low range gearing with the 4-wheel drive system. There's also a center locking differential that is standard across the lineup. What's optional or standard, depending on which trim you're looking at, front and rear locking differentials that you engage with these switches up here on the headliner, which is just badass. That's the way to do it. I'm sorry, but it's just way cooler to have buttons up on the headliner. Makes it feel a lot more like a fighter jet or a plane than a car. But otherwise, unsurprisingly, you know, we're on kind of mild trails right now, but this thing is doing exactly what it was built to do. You can just feel how solid, how confident it is out here. Again, this powertrain is just so excellent. And with this ZF transmission, I mean, you get what you expect from it. It does a really damn good job of being in the right gear it needs to be in, but if you want to do it manually, just like in a BMW, you can just move the gear selector over and shift through the gears yourself. All right, so I have the rear differential locked. You guys know what that means. It's going to keep both wheels spinning at the same rate, and that's important in slippery conditions like this, especially. We have some dirt, some gravel, as well as snow, and so it's a very unique environment, and this thing is just crawling its way up without any issues whatsoever. All right, guys, so here is kind of my verdict. I know I haven't spent a lot of time with the vehicle, but the way I see it is, again, if your expectations are for something luxurious, this isn't it. Yeah, you can add some leather, but keep in mind, even carpet is optional in this thing. It's not about luxury. This is a utilitarian vehicle, first and foremost. And if that's what you want, this is one hell of a machine, whether you're talking about the Grenadier, the wagon version, or this pickup truck. You can also add all kinds of accessories to it, all kinds of mounting points. This could take you pretty much anywhere you want to go. But if you're just using it to run around town, to get to work, to go to the grocery store, maybe take the kids to school, yeah, you're gonna look pretty damn cool doing it, but it's just not the best tool for the job. But out here in this rough stuff, it absolutely is.